What's up everyone, how's it going? Welcome to today's pre-market analysis. Today is Friday, July the 18th, and I don't have much more to say. Let's dive straight into it. We have 8 minutes until market opens, and yeah, let's begin. Give me 1 second as I open up the financial news and Forex Factory. But here, you can see that there wasn't much news we have to worry about today. We do have prelim University of Michigan data, but a 5 minute interval at 9 a.m. should do the job, and we should just keep that in the back of our mind. Nothing really changed that much. You can just read here, US stock futures remain steady on Friday as strong earnings and confidence in the resilience of the US economy bolstered sentiment. I don't even know what that means. Provided with padded support. Okay. So that means that whatever news we had that resulted in bullish sentiment. But yeah, let's dive straight into analysis of ES first, and then we can dive into NQ. So let's go ahead and reset everything and dive straight into this. And we're at all-time high areas, so it's gonna be quite difficult to actually comprehend regarding which levels you can actually use. But typically what we can do is once you break out, maybe look for a retracement that the retracement at the previous all-time high levels, we should be able to see reaction there. Sometimes you bounce out of it, make a next leg higher. Sometimes you break below and continue going lower, like we've seen these two times. But this time, it looks like we're making a reaction off of a retracement already. So based off of that, we might be able to head for a next leg higher, because this is all aggressive buy. And there's nothing really to target above that we can utilize on the charts. Again, that's where order flow comes in, because you can actually see the areas of interest via bookmap and the different levels on bookmap as well. But we know that this is going to be a 3-hour zone. Move it up there. We already saw rejection off of it. 3-hour right there. Liquidity we already marked. There likely will be liquidity there, but you see that big reaction, we might be able to leverage that to make some nice plays here today. 2-hour. Nothing much else on the 2-hour. 1-hour, we do have liquidity here, and we have a 1-hour demand zone there. Even though that's a white candle or a green candle, it essentially serves the same purpose, so we are going to go ahead and mark it. There we go. We had this 1-hour liquidity as well, so I do want to see if we can break above that, because we are wicking at that point. 30-minute, not seeing too much on the 30-minute. We'll mark this out as a 30-minute zone, but I'm not too confident on that 30-minute zone actually standing, seeing as there is main liquidity and all-time high region at the top. And 15-minute, yeah, honestly, from the way that we're moving right now, it looks like we can continue, make a new leg to the next all-time high area. But let's confirm or reject that hypothesis using our volume profile and also the footprint. Yeah, we're seeing lots of volume being generated here at this level, and look at the pure difference between buying and selling at that area. Every time we've came up to this area within this range, all that we've seen is aggressive buying. I would say that's at least more than 75% buying pressure that occurred at this area. This area is going to be very, very key to see how price actually reacts over the current day, because I believe that once you've broken this area, it might be easier to head down. seeing as although there's volume, there's much less volume. The true imbalance below area would likely be below this area, because once we break in below that area, it's likely that we head down towards here. But let's continue expanding this all the way over there. We see that volume is below that imbalance below area, so price may be gravitated towards that. But once again, nothing too significant that we can work with. This is validated by volume. This is validated by volume. We validated those levels with volume as well. Market is going to open in about 2 minutes now. But we'll go ahead and validate our levels using our footprint charts as well. Here we see decent volume, but we're seeing buyer absorption here. Look at all this aggressive buying that came in that was unable to push through that general level. And here, this is what interests me even more because this is a pre-market. This is clear evidence of seller absorption. We're seeing high volume and stacked seller delta that is unable to push through aggressively, that resulted in which then aggressive buyers popped in from. This is seller absorption. I'm going to go ahead and mark that as one of my footprint zones. If price comes back down there, we may be able to estimate a reaction. I'm going to do the same for this buyer absorption here as well. Start the volume from there. Yeah, right there. And we're actually approaching that level as you come into market open, which is in 1 minute. But all those levels have been validated. This level, we see aggressive selling come in. I'm gonna remove that level simply because there's nothing to validate that level there. And then we have, which level do we have? This level. Am I tripping or something? Yeah, so that would be a zone right there where here there wasn't a zone. So I want to go ahead and just expand this level like that. And where's that one at? I just want to do that like such, because that would be more accurate looking at how footprint chart is. But here there does seem to be potential absorption. We saw aggressive selling coming in, stack selling delta that was unable to push through. Maybe just less interest at that point, but once you break that point, it should be clear towards the downside. But those are going to be the levels that we're really going to work with here today. Market's opening in 2 seconds, so I do want to observe the reaction. But while we're doing that, let's go ahead and quickly chart out NQ and see what we can see there as well. Alright. Let me just put my footprint on the 5 minute and I'm gonna start charting on NQ right away. Alright. Let's go and do this. As you see, we've broken above these all-time highs pretty aggressively here on NQ, but we do have levels here that we can potentially bounce off of. It does look like we have swept the upper liquidity right there, but we still have this lower liquidity we can bounce off of. It's a tricky place to play the market nonetheless because it's near the all-time high range with less things for us to work with. Yeah, we don't have to mark out that many levels here today. Just go on 2 hour. And look at all this choppy action that's happening here at the top. I already know that a lot of the volume is going to be hello, will the volume profile open? Yeah, there. As you can see, majority of that volume is near the top. If you break below this area, it looks to be imbalanced below area as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that out until this general region. Could consider this liquidity, but that's it's pretty much a full choppy area. We've seen a sweep from the upper liquidity, but it could also be argued that we swept this liquidity and bounced off of this zone, this 1 hour zone, like such. So the different ways to combat and comprehend this, it's all based upon discretion. Some may comprehend that we're seeing a reaction off of these all-time highs and potentially want to take shorts. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to see if we've seen aggressive reaction above it or if we've seen aggressive reaction below it, and simply take a continuation model on either side, targeting the next key level with the bookmap confluence. That's simply how I'm gonna model my day, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. But yeah, there's that. Let's just keep going to see if there's any 30-minute zones, but I'm not seeing any of it. We do have one there. 15-minute. There is absolutely nothing. So yeah, that's gonna be my charting here for today. I didn't really see much. I'm gonna keep eye out to see wherever we can find direction in. Depending on where we find direction, that's where we could play out our day. Right now, we're chilling between the 30-minute and the 1 hour. Simply see a reaction towards either side and play off of that. But we swept all-time highs again recently on NQ, so just keep that in mind. But other than that, that's all I have here for today. If you have any questions, feel free to join the free Discord server. Link is in the description. If you want to check out how to use Orderflow for completely free, check the link in the description as well. Great resources. I highly recommend you guys to check out and do your own research. But other than that, I'll see you guys today evening for the market analysis session. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.